It had 10 guest rooms in it. At the time, there were only 16 families in the entire town. So then they added the wings. They added this in 1908, last building 1913, 1927, 29. There is now 87 guest rooms on the property. In 1930, after he was done being president, Calvin Coolidge spent a month here with his wife.
I read that, yeah.
And the media had a field day trying to figure out what the ex-president was doing in Mount Dora. So that helped us a lot.
He was looking for peace and quiet, probably.
Exactly.
And friendship,
yes.
Friendliness.
And just to be able to lay back and relax.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, we needed that. We
yes.
had the funeral, the dealing with the condo, cleaning out things, dealing with family. We needed this.
It's never easy.
And
but back now, this was all a beach here in the center. Mm-hmm. And back then, instead of people going to the beach and getting sunburn at the ocean, mm-hmm. they would come to a lake and sit on a porch and be more aristocratic. Because if you were sunburned, you look like a working person. And everybody wanted to be more aristocratic.
Oh, yes. That's wonderful. We were lucky. They gave us a room on the bottom floor, and it's before I had to go downstairs.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Because my handicap scooter's in my truck there.
Oh, okay. Now, this little door here on the left, during Prohibition, that was the entrance to a speakeasy called the Kumquat Lounge.
Kumquat Lounge.
Right down there, yeah. I think they would bring that back again, because I think that would be ideal.
People would go just to see it.
Yes.
But you can't go in there and see it now.
No, because it's a storage room now.
That's where the speakeasy was.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you told us that.
Yeah, but this is all the Lakeside Inn property. Mm-hmm. Now over here, it used to be the tennis courts, but they have so many guests anymore, they use it for overflow parking.
They need that.
They do.
I lucked into that spot when I got here.
Mount Dora is horrible for parking. I mean, that's our biggest problem.
And that's why we're going to stay here and leave the car parked and either tip you or get on our scooters.
Yes, and you make sure I'm not this card. Mm-hmm. Call anytime.
How late do you go out?
I go out probably till like 8, 9 o'clock at night.
Okay, a little bit.
Depending on, you know, just what's going on. You know, but one thing I do is, let's say tonight, say it's 7 o'clock. Hey, take me to a restaurant. I'll drop you off at the restaurant. I'll write your name down, your phone number, and when I'm ready to go home, I look at my list and make sure I took everybody home that I picked up during the day.
Oh, that's neat.
Because one time last year when I did it, I picked up a guy. He was a little bit out of town, and he was on a walker. I brought him in.
Yes, he was
had him in the restaurant. All my scooter ran out of juice. Oh. I didn't have his phone number. I didn't know how to get in touch with him, but I knew that people that were staying at the bed and breakfast because it's next door to where I live. So I went over. I told her. I said, the guy I picked up, you might want to call him and pick him up for me because I couldn't do it that night. Mm-hmm. Ever since then, I always write down people's names.
I'm glad you do that.
And then I know just what I'm doing.
Because with me recovering from cancer, I can't do a lot of walking either.
No, I can imagine.
I've got a scooter and a walker in the truck, but I'm going to use my scooter sometime tomorrow. Because we'll be able to get around Mount Dora on that one. But if I don't use it, I'm going to call you.
Perfect. Now, this is the Mount Dora Lawn Bowling Club.
Mm-hmm.
It was established in 1928. It is the largest lawn bowling club in the country. Has over 300 members.
Wow.
And lawn bowling is similar to bocce.
Is it similar to croquet too?
No.
No? Okay.
No. But what's the difference? Excuse me one second. The difference between bocce and lawn bowling is this is what a lawn bowl looks like.
Oh, okay.
It's not completely round.
Okay.
So it has a small side and a large side. And the ball always goes to the small side.
Oh, okay.
So depending on how you roll it, which side it angles onto.
So they.
Yes.
Okay. I never knew about lawn bowling.
Yeah, it's like I said, like bocce, where it has a white target that they throw out. The surface is like a clay with a fine granular stone on top, and they brush it a few times a day just to keep it level.
That's interesting. This was a good thing to do tonight, Janie. Give us a tour. I appreciate this.
And it's perfect at night now because it's not so hot as it was this afternoon or tomorrow probably.
Well, I had to take a break. I had to get away. And so we decided on this. We made the reservations yesterday for today.
And you'll really understand a lot of things. Because so many people come to this town. They go on Donnelly Street, they eat, they shop, and they leave. They have no idea what's around.
I'm more interested in the history.
Yes.
I appreciate that you had the time for us.
Now this little monument. That's indicating there used to be a lighthouse here.
Oh, okay.
And the lighthouse, not a lighthouse, an ice house.
Ice house.
Yeah, an
Oh,
ice
see
house.
the ice
Yeah,
house?
yeah. So that used to be an ice house here.
Let me take a picture of that. My
So
camera's
it
in.
was an ice house for a number of years, and then the theater company moved into it, and it became known as the Ice House Theater.
Oh, okay.
So,
Oh, what is it that coming on? Come on.
so they would be putting on plays, but back then the amplification wasn't real good. So the play would be going on. The train comes roaring down the tracks, drowns out the play. So finally,
yeah,
the
'cause
town
there's train
came to him and
tracks
said,
over
"Listen, we're going to move you out to 11th Street. You're away from the train. You're away from the downtown noise. They're still on 11th Street today. It's still called the Ice House Theater, and there's a play there every single week.
Wow.
Now till I think the middle of December, it's Mary Poppins.
Oh,
But I
yeah.
mean, it's big plays. I mean, they get people, like a lot of actors, I think, from Disney come up here and all that kind of stuff for it. So
The
it's
train
not like
tracks
just
on
a
the
local-
left, Mama.
Yeah. Yeah, wait till you see this thing when we get up closer.
I'm a terrible picture taker. And we're going to travel now.
Okay.
After I survived the cancer,
Okay.
usually we travel by RV.
Here you go. Okay.
But we're going to do some of this too.
Okay.
And we're going to go wherever I want to go.
You should.
Because I could have died last year. I almost did.
I had a stroke a year and a half ago.
Oh, and you're doing great.
Yep.
This is good.
Yeah.
No, they told me they didn't find it when they did last October. I would have been dead by Christmas. And I'm here,
Yeah.
by the grace of God.
Now this is the Mount Dora Lighthouse.
Oh, wow.
It
There is
was
a
built
light.
in 1980. Well, I'll get you a good spot for the picture.
Okay.
It was built in 1988 by the citizens of Mount Dora purely as a tourist attraction. Now this is nice with the palm trees.
Yes.
Does it actually light up?
Let me
Yes.
see if I can get
Okay.
it
It's
closer.
35 feet
Come
high.
on.
It's
All right,
built
camera.
with brick, covered in stucco. So it, it's not sanctioned by the Coast Guard because they didn't build it.
Yeah.
But it has a light on it at night, a red light that rotates, and it brings the boats in to the public dock. So it serves a purpose even though it's not sanctioned.
Yeah. Oh, well, right?
Now that's called Grantham Point Park. Directly
Okay.
across the way here where that little gazebo is, that's Elizabeth Evans Park. Friday night they're going to have a Scottish concert there because Saturday is our Scottish festival. And they have a festival here in the next park, Gilbert Park.
We
where
have
they-
to leave Friday. We could
where
only
they,
get...
yeah, where they have border collies herding sheep through the trees. They have men and women in kilts, single-handedly pulling a fire engine up the street here. And in Liberty Street, they have a bagpipe bands and all. Straight ahead is the Palm Island Boardwalk.
Oh, wow.
See over there, that's a nature walk. That's about a half-mile long. It's one of the longest boardwalks in Florida.
Wow.
And you see a lot of nature out there and alligators and things like that.
I'm going to do a lot of my picture taking from sitting down. That's okay. Interesting.
So this is where the festival's going to happen on the left?
we need to come
they're
another
setting this up
time.
because that's where the people playing music and all
So it's
that.
every
Yeah.
year.
Yes, every
If we
year.
plan way ahead, we could get accommodations
Scottish
sometime and see it
festival.
Yeah.
another year.
Exactly.
I mean, we have to leave Friday because that's when our that's
Okay.
the only time we could get the rooms. But
Keep this, keep this,
mhm.
and keep this.
Okay.
And then that way you got a map. You got all different places to eat and stay.
Well, we're only 2.5 hours away,
Yeah,
so we
all
can
right.
do something.
But at least you know what's going on.
Well,
Now this is Big Joe, our 20-foot alligator. They claimed back in the steamship days it was an actual alligator, 20 feet long, lived in the lake, and they say all the alligators in there now are all his relatives.
well, you know what? I have a history with alligators.
Probably
Yeah.
are.
I was on the Montel Williams show
Okay.
and paid my way to New York because I had an alligator bite the bumper of my car.
Really?
I happened to videotape it.
Oh, wow.
And so about 6 or 7 years ago, wasn't it, Jamie?
Yeah.
No, it was more
No,
than-
no, it was more than that.
It was about 8 or 9 years ago.
No, it was more like 12,
12
15.
years ago, okay. But I got my way paid to New York
Yeah.
for me and a companion, so one of my daughters went and I paid for the other one.
Wow.
Because it was right after, yeah, it was right after your daddy died. And we needed that trip too. So we stayed in a hotel in New York and Montel Williams show, paid our way up there. I paid for one extra day so we could enjoy New York.
Yes.
But they paid for everything else.
Perfect.
But they also took us back to the airport. And Montel Williams' own driver drove us back to the airport because they had to take us back because they were going to do that anyway.
Wow, that's nice.
So, yeah, that was nice. When we got home after riding limousines and everything else, my daughter's boyfriend picked us up in his pickup truck and threw us down in the back and brought us home. So, we were
So you
back
went
down
from
to
chauffeur driven to
back
pickup
to the
truck.
pickup truck. But we were back down to earth there. But we had a good time.
Now this is at Park South. It's one of 18 different condominium associations in Mount Dora. We also have 12 different bed and breakfasts.
Yeah, I looked at
Over
some
here, that is the Christopher's Country Inn. And we'll see a couple more of them on that.
Well, if we come back again, we can stay in one of them too. If we come back for something, we just need to find it ahead if we come to one of the festivals, don't we?
Oh, the two biggest festivals are the Craft Festival, which was 3 weeks ago, and the Art Festival, which is the first weekend in February.
Yeah, I saw that somewhere.
Those two festivals get between 200,000 and 300,000 people.
So I imagine you could become vendors in them too.
Oh, there's 300 vendors in these
Yeah,
things.
but she designs the jewelry that she's wearing, and I make folk dolls.
I know they wind up, you have to apply for it because they only take 300 or 350,
And
whatever
it's
it is.
juried. They have to see what you're doing. But we've done that. We've been accepted in several juried ones. So we are going to start. Last year we couldn't do stuff because of my cancer. But now we're living again.
Yeah. Now this is where the train used to come down from Sanford to pick up the oranges in town. But nothing runs down here anymore.
No, it's a train track.
Yeah. The train comes from the lake and to Varies up to the center of town and then back again. So it's
just back and
tourist
forth.
in town. Yeah.
Well, we have a train right out in Varies too. It's just a tourist thing. Because we live in Varies, Florida.
Oh.
We're natives here. We're not natives. She can put it right there.
There you go. That's rare to find people that actually came from Florida. Now this is another set of condominiums, and like I said, they're all different styles.
Oh, yeah. They're much more stylish than Mama's condo, aren't they?
Yeah, well, because it stays probably within the character of the town, or they try to. They're the old homes.
Just so much unique architecture. One house I like is this little one right back here.
Yes.
It has its own little guest house with it too.
Oh, it does.
It does. I'm going to take a picture of it because I think it's good. And I also am an artist. I like to draw things.
Yeah.
But I do it from pictures because I get too tired to go out on location anymore. Wouldn't that make a nice drawing?
Yes.
I really like the way it's set up. Now this all used to be orange groves. And when it was orange groves, over here on the left, this was the family home. And right behind it, where the windmill is, was the orange processing plant. They were the windmills. So a couple weeks ago, I had a couple on board. I'm telling about it. So the woman says, "I'm staying in the processing plant." So she said, "You want to see what's inside?" I went in. The legs of the windmill go through the roof, come out of the ceiling, into the floor of the bedroom, and between the four legs is a queen-size bed.
Wow.
It is the strangest thing I've ever seen. Really neat, really well done inside. When you see it from the front.
Well, this must be another bed and breakfast.
Yes, this is the Grand View bed.
The Grand View. Well, let's keep that in mind too.
Oh, yeah,
Jamie.
you can see it coming out of the roof over there.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
So we're going to start a scrapbook of just places she and I go.
There's another thing. It's all lodging and all of town.
I'm going to get enough pictures of the town today running around.
So you'll know just what you're looking for. Exactly. But yeah, that's the Grand View bed and breakfast. Cool down here, nice deck.
See, I didn't know what to choose. I read up on the inn, how it was the oldest existing Florida hotel.
Yes.
I said, okay, that's where we'll start. Good. I want to stay in a bed and breakfast sometime too. So
Very
why don't we
quaint.
check into those, if we can't get into those events.
Now,
This is the Magnolia Inn. I saw that one on the
Magnolia Inn.
I saw that one on the internet too.
Another bed and breakfast. This is a home from the 1920s.
It's got that Spanish architect.
Guest house in the back again. It's part of the Historic Society, and that's what that little medallion means on the column here. So they're very limited to what they can do as far as changing anything.
But yeah, but any of these would be nice to come back to, Janie.
My goodness, there are so many ways. And the thing with Mount Dora is they have something old, they don't tear it down and put something new in its place.
Yes,
they try
they're
to
doing
restore
that.
it to keep the whole integrity of the town.
And you know something else? That they're messing up some historic places too because of the stupid, it's not politically correct anymore. And history you can't change.
Yeah. The history is the history. You know? You're taking down all the statues. It's like
our statue, our Civil War statue, is in the quarry in pieces now. It should have been moved to a historic park.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's terrible. Too many Yankees in our town now. Sorry about that. Don't know where you're from, but
Pennsylvania.
okay, I don't mean anything by present company.
No, but I know exactly what you mean. It's your history. It might not have been great history, but it's still your history. It's your background.
Yeah, because I had a grandchild tell me, well, Grandma, you were raised during the time of hatred and prejudice. I said, no, I wasn't hatred and prejudice. It was my heritage. And this grandchild is a 4th generation Floridian. She should be, I know she's a 3rd generation. You're 2nd generation, Janie. It should be her history. She should be proud of it. I mean,
over on the left where these flags are, that is an English-style pub.
oh.
The name of it is the Magical Meat Boutique. You'll see the sign over the door. There's no little door.
Where do you suggest we go for supper that's reasonable?
Looks very nice.
What do you recommend for supper that's reasonable?
That's pretty reasonable. It's English style. It's real close to here. This is a little bit more expensive, but it has really nice stuff. The story behind...
Look at him on the
Segway.
Segway, yeah.
Now the story behind that English pub, the Magical Meat Boutique, the guy who was on the ladder is the owner, Phil. And his family had been in the butcher business since the 1500s. So his dad had a shop in London called the Magical Meat Boutique.
Okay.
And it was a meat shop. So when he retired, Phil brought the sign over, used it for a base for his restaurant, and to honor his dad.
That's neat.
Now this is Lake. So the surveyor said she was so hospitable, they wouldn't name the lake after her. It's part of the Harris chain of lakes, which means you can actually get from here to the Atlantic Ocean by boat.
Wow.
Because you can go from here to the Dora Canal into Lake Eustis, from there to a series of locks up to Lake Griffin, then the St. Johns River, up to Jacksonville, the Atlantic Ocean.
Now,
That's where the Bible camp is in Eustis.
There's some little docks out from our dock down there. The boats probably come up to it, don't they?
Boats come up there, yes. Because there's a premier
Ooh,
boat
that's
tour that
pretty.
goes out of there. There's a rusty anchor boat tour that goes out of there. And it takes you either around the lake or out through the Dora Canal. The Dora Canal looks like Florida did 100 years ago. It's really pretty.
Oh, I like.
Now this is a nice place to eat because you're outside. This is called Pisces Rising. And this is like, you know, a block from where you just were. This is the Mount Dora Yacht Club. It was established in 1913.
Now that pub was really close. We could go there for supper, couldn't we, Jamie?
Yes.
The magical place, right?
Yeah, it's real close. And if you want, I could drop you off there if you like. Or take your scooter. But anyway.
Well, I think we're going to pack them tomorrow in the back of the truck. She does have to lift them in and out.
Okay. Mount Dora Yacht Club is 1913. One of the oldest freshwater yacht clubs in Florida. Has over 100 members, and I've never seen a yacht there in my life. I think it's just a drinking club. Mitchell.
I don't have that about that guy.
Okay. Now, this over here is our Starry Night house.
Oh, okay. I saw that on YouTube.
Okay.
I mean, on the internet.
Last July, she had Van Gogh's portrait and Starry Night put on her wall, and the city hated it. They told her it was graffiti and she would have to take it down. So they took her to court, and while they were in court, they said, well, it's obviously graffiti because the wall doesn't match your house.
So she did the house.
Painted the house to match the wall. And she won the court case.
I like to see people win court cases.
Yeah. Now, the fact that she's a lawyer, I'm sure helped too.
I imagine
Going
so.
into
She
it,
knew how to
yeah.
go about it.
Now, this is the Villa Dora condominiums. It was built in 1972. It's the largest structure in town. And when it was completed, the townspeople all looked at it and said, never again did we ever want anything this big in town. So they passed an ordinance, nothing over 35 feet can be built there.
So this is it?
This is it. That's the whole thing. But I mean, all these people had lakefront views, or lake views. Something great. I mean, and some of these houses are really unique.
I think they'd be very unhappy to have that built up in front of them.
You still feel like that.
Well, the condo my mother was in before she passed, it's blocking the view from some beautiful old homes in our town. And it's just kind of a shame.
Oh, that's an old house.
It's called the Stone House, named after a family named Stone who ran a boarding house out of it. I got a story about that, but I just wanted to show you a few of the houses back here. Because a lot of these are very unique in the fact that they're from all different decades. So, you know, that's probably the 40s, this is probably the 60s, that might be the 30s over here. But they're all just different.
And they're not like these housing developments that everybody's got the same thing.
Exactly. No builder came in and made a whole development. It was just you bought a piece of land, you put whatever was in style at the time.
And it makes the town so interesting. Isn't that gorgeous?
Gorgeous house. This over here. Oh.
I just got a little like farmhouse on my property. I don't know anything. That's your whole big affair. Because the guy came back. The town is named for people who does not sell their orange groves while I'm alive. Because of put a housing development next to it.
Yeah. That's what he's been doing with most of them anymore. Just knock them down. How you doing? Until she died in 1913. And after she died, Donnelly was by then the mayor of the town. So the Ladies Auxiliary came to him and said, listen, we want to build a park somewhere in town for people to play and be outside. He said, I tell you what, I'll send you to get a nice picture of that family too. Right about there.
So they put the snow back there?
Right there on that hill. And they
On
slide
that hill.
down there. I mean, it's
In December.
not much, but it's a lot of sledding for Florida.
Oh,
Yeah.
And the first night,
The
the
Donnelly
kids are
Park.
usually from here all the way down to the end of the next block.
Wow.
Trying to take a 2-second ride.
The first time we were in Virginia because my husband is a minister. And we took the kids to Wake Forest, North Carolina, and to go to seminary. The first year we saw snow, they loved going down the hill.
Oh yeah.
One of the families had a sled and everybody used it.
That's nice. Now, this is a community building. The original one had burned down in 1923. So they needed a new one to hold town hall meetings, and they decided they wanted a place where every resident of town would have a seat. So in 1930, there were 800 residents. That was built with 800 seats in it. It also coincided with Calvin Coolidge and his wife being at the lakeside. They presided over the dedication, and that made it a historic event. That's what that little plaque there is telling you about.
That is interesting.
And they have concerts there on like Friday and Saturday nights. Now the next building is the Mount Dora City Hall.
Oh yeah.
It was originally called the Gilder Hotel. Light just came on just in time.
Yeah, I took it just as I snapped the picture, the lights came on.
So it was. So they had it for a number of years, and then a portion of it burned down. So the city said, "Listen, we like the structure so much, they completely rebuilt the entire thing out of brick, the exact same facade as the hotel, and the 4 columns are the original wood columns from the hotel."
Wow.
It's interesting.
Rush hour in Mount Dora.
Doesn't look like rush hour at home, does it, Jane?
No. There's a banner thing hanging up telling about Mary Poppins.
That's it. At the ice house.
Now, that one place was real close to our hotel, wasn't it, Jane?
I think so. Catty corner.
Yeah, so that's where you want to have supper tonight?
Whatever.
Which one?
The one that was so close to our hotel, so I won't have far.
The one that
walk
you
to
said
do.
it had reasonable.
Oh, the
Yeah. The guy from England.
Magical Meat Boutique. Yes.
Yeah.
You come out of your hotel and you just stay right on the sidewalk, and it's right there.
So I could walk back when we're done. And then tomorrow we'll scoot around on our scooters and enjoy some of these gift shops.
Absolutely.
We've had a nice tour of the town, haven't we?
Yes.
Jenny? We lucked into this.
And now you know exactly where you want to go.
Well, not exactly, but we got a better idea.
You've at least given us some of the history.
Now,
So
when the town first started, it didn't
What is
actually
that?
have a name. So the
That's
first
the park.
postmaster came up with a name, and he based it on his 3 children.
Yes.
And their names were Roy, Ella, and Louis. This green sign here is the name of the town when it first started.
That was the original name.
Now, it was called Royal Lou for the first
Royal
3
Lou.
years. And then the townspeople all got together and said, listen, we're trying to bring the tourists down from the north who think Florida is a flat swamp. So since we have the 3rd highest elevation in the entire state at 184 feet,
Mount
we'll
Dora.
call it Mount Dora, and they'll come to see the mountain in Florida. And they're still coming today. Now,
Well,
this
it's
is-
because you've kept acquaintance.
Yes. Now this is our old firehouse, and then it was a city jail up until 1966. There's a museum now, open like 1 to 4. It's got a jail cell in the back and a bunch of history there.
It's probably not real expensive either.
$1, $2.
Yeah, I think we'll try that.
That is a Renaissance building. That was a hotel built in the 1920s.
Back
The
there
story
behind.
it, when they started construction, it was going to be a 4-story building. But the fire department came to it and said, listen, our ladders are only 3 stories high. That's as high as you can go. So that's why it's capped off at 3.
I think that's fabulous.
Now, what the unique thing about Mount Dora is every shop and every restaurant is owned by the people that run it.
Oh.
There are no
neat.
corporate stores allowed in town at all.
And
Wow.
no people from other countries buying it out.
Nope.
Oh, I love
Nope.
that.
It's perfect.
Just remember I'm videotaping.
Now, I like this little sign in this window here. Especially at the last line, if you can read it.
Elevation 2,200 inches.
Above sea level.
See that?
Now, this is to remind you, this little store here, Julie sells frozen, chocolate-covered key lime pie on
Oh.
a stick.
All right, we might have to.
Hey, how's it
There
going?
she is.
What?
Key lime pie on a stick.
Yes, you
I
need one?
love it. Is real key lime, right?
Yes, Kermit's out of Key West.
Don't be
Okay.
back tomorrow.
I was gonna say, I've got the key, I'll open up.
Be back tomorrow.
Have a good one.
All right, see you.
I wouldn't have somebody to open it.
We can do our thing on the scooters, and then if we want to find
Oh.
him tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Now, there's 21 different restaurants in downtown Mount Dora alone. There's 2 Cubans, 2 English, a French, Indian, Italian, German, Mediterranean, anything you can think of. This is Piglet's Pantry. It's an actual dog bakery.
Dog
They
bakery.
make cakes, cookies, ice cream in the back just for dogs.
We're not going to take home treats to our dogs, so we're not going to tell them about it. Our dogs are country dogs. They won't know what they're
No,
missing.
they're just happy you're back.
I got acres from the chicken farm, so they're not high-food dogs. They're going to be very happy. Isn't that pretty? You down that one?
This is with your tea room. Now, next Saturday, they're going to light this all up when they light up the park. The
Yeah,
park's
but
going to
that's
have.
still a pretty view.
It's, oh, yeah, because they're got all these.
They're getting ready, but I can at least get an idea.
Practicing, yeah.
Yeah,
So this house over here,
yeah.
that was owned by a family called Childs. And what makes it unique is they bought it from the Sears Roebuck catalog.
Oh, I've heard about those.
That
Sears
is-
Roebuck
Sears
Catalog
That's the
House?
Sears Roebuck
Yeah,
house.
there's some in Key West, too.
Yes.
Sears Roebuck House.
Now, Mrs. Child would sit out on the porch and look out at the lake. At the time, though, it wasn't a park here; it
Yeah.
was a hardware store. So she would complain that she couldn't see
Sunset
the lake. So
Park.
finally, one day, her husband went over, purchased a hardware store, had it torn down, made it a park. She was a happy wife after that.
But yeah, I heard about the Sears Roebuck. They brought them in by boat even. The
Yeah,
parts.
and gave you all the parts, and you put them together. Now, this is the train depot. It's the Chamber of Commerce now, but it's set up like this because of housing all the oranges and a few passengers that would go up to Santa. Now, would you like to go back to the hotel, or you want me to drop you at the restaurant?
The restaurant's
We'll do
fine.
the restaurant thing.
Okay.
And we can walk to the hotel, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's only a block or something.
That's the hotel. That's the restaurant.
Okay, we can do that. We can handle that.
Yes.
And it's even got a little sidewalk that goes directly to it. Right here, it goes right there, and you're at the hotel.
There.
We are sitting in. What's the name of this place?
I don't know what the name of it is. It's totally, but it's from England.
It's from England. Yeah, the owners are from England.
And
So I'm having bangers and mash in a hole for dinner, and Mama's having authentic fish and chips. It's something magical something. Oh, at the Magical Meat Boutique. So we're at the Magical Meat Boutique out of England, London, England.
The owner used his daddy's sign.
Oh, the owner used his father's sign when he originally opened the place. There's a phone booth right there.
As a tribute to his dad.
As a tribute to his dad.
That was a good thing to do tonight, wasn't it?
Yep. It was recommended by the guy who gave us the golf cart tour. So I'll show you all a picture of my food when it comes.
No English. Look at that.
Here's Mama's fish and chips as she dumps out of French fries.
Yeah, because I want to salt it.
And what was this called again? Banglers and bash in a hole.
Better when she says it.
Okay. Banglers and bash in a hole.
Has this got this?
Bangers and bash in a hole.
I'm
Yes,
sorry.
yes, Mama, yes it does.